Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Monday, April 5th, 2021, and let's get into the astrological outlook for the day. All right, so today we have the sun discharging 17 degrees of Aries. This is the degree 2 prim spinsters sitting in silence. So this is kind of an interesting and complex degree, and to me, it sort of calls for internally reflecting on the dualistic nature of our own personal and unique identity in order to, really discover where we have unfulfilled potential within us, the reasons why we are avoiding cultivating and fulfilling different aspects of ourselves and our internal nature. Like I wrote, where are we ignoring our personal potential and internal drives, and why? What can we come to understanding and reintegrate within ourselves to find true joy and fulfillment in life? And this will be something unique to each of us personally. Obviously, we all are extremely different, and the latent talents and abilities and motivating factors within all of us are extremely different. But this degree, I feel like, is calling us to look inward and see where we have division within ourselves in terms of what we can truly birth and create in and of our own personal nature, and figure out where those things are and maybe why we neglect to cultivate them, and then bring them together so that we can truly be in our wholeness and produce the work that we were made and born to come here to do. So again, like with the sun at this energetic today, I feel like this is more energy to help us prepare internally for the new energy that we're moving into right now, the age of Aquarius, second renaissance, the new laws of reality and the new ways of being that are rapidly coming into effect and that we're all transitioning to now, which is why we see the state of the world as such it is at this point in time. Next, we have the big news. We have the big news of today. Mercury, our friend and important planet right now, has moved into Aries, which means Mercury and Mars are now in mutual reception in each other's signs. This will create an extremely active energy for thoughts, ideas, and information, which will come in rapidly, kind of like slicing through the consciousness of people. It's a thing, and we'll be seeing it more and more. This may bring some harsher, painful truths with it and information to people, and fighting we may see it increase, especially verbally in the media and on social media. We might see an uptick in contentious language, arguments, fights, conflicts, especially along the Mercury ruled aspects of our world, social media, the media, those types of things. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. Mercury and Mars both represent young people as well. So there may be an emphasis on these things, especially in terms of youth or younger generations somehow. So we might see some passionate and inspired younger generations really becoming more vocal about things over this next few weeks while this mutual reception is strong and going on. Sharp minds and cutting words would be good descriptives of this energy. It's also great for learning anything that requires a lot of mental energy, and also for putting energy, Mars, into making things or learning skills with the hands. Mercury rules the hands. So anything that you're learning right now or that you're doing that has to do with the hands. Oh, hold on. I got to plug in my tablet. It's going to die. Just a second. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, so where was I? Anything that, yes, making things or doing things with your hands, that type of thing is very indicated and strong right now. So it's a good time to learn new skills with the hands. And it's also just a good time to learn generally because we have a very active and strong and energized mind with Mars and Gemini, or Mars and Mercury in mutual reception. On the flip side, though, it's important we need to watch out for injuries of the hands, and specifically like cuts and burns and that type of thing, because Mars rules cuts and burns and Mercury rules the hands. And so that's just something to keep in mind. This is a time where you might be more likely to encounter altercations regarding cuts and burns in your hands. So I'm going to keep that in mind. You should keep that in mind, especially if you are a Gemini, or if you have a lot of Gemini energy, Gemini ascendant, moon, or a lot of sun, a lot of planets in Gemini. Something to just keep in mind. Just watch your hands. All right. Lastly on this, because of the nature of the astrological circumstances right now generally, and the transitional period that we're in, moving into the age of Aquarius and second Renaissance, the placement of the nodes and just everything that's going on generally, etc., Mercury and Neptune's recent conjunction, what was going on at the new moon, what was going on at the full moon, the fact that we're moving very close into the Aries full moon right now, all of that taken into consideration, and now we have Mercury moving to mutual reception with Mars. This few week period while Mercury and Mars are in mutual reception will spark massive revelations and information that can result in fighting and conflict in a polarized Gemini, very polarized right now population, and also within us. So it might create, again, a lot of projection, a lot of cognitive dissonance as we try to integrate the slices through our consciousness that are coming in terms of the information that's coming in, and just trying to bring the truth shattering or the paradigm shattering nature of this, trying to integrate it and perceive it, and inside of us, and also people will dealing with this around us. So that's something to keep in mind. We all need to do our best, I think, during this time to act from the higher octaves of Mars, the higher expressions of that Mars energy, being motivation, inspiration, taking action, to actively assist or to pioneer, get out ahead on something, and use this energy for creative purposes, and to innovate, and to just be very, Mercury and Mars is also a genius. It's very ingenuitive and ingenious, inventor and stuff like that. I mean, Uranus is like that as well, but Mercury and Mars together, that's really powerful intelligence. And it's creative power. It's the ability to, put force into action and, create through ideas. So maybe using the energy this way instead of lashing out and verbally slaying people during this time might behoove all of us as we go through this period. And if we're going to be motivated to fight for anything, what this energy is asking us to do is to fight for truth, because of the North Node in Gemini, the South Node in Sagittarius, wanting us to shatter the illusions of the past in search of the real, accurate, relevant, divine truths of today. And this also sort of reminds me of the Archangel Michael archetype, and also just the very spiritual, Mars in his spiritual warrior costume, in his spiritual warrior nature, really trying to make us fight for truth and freedom of information and the real story, and to really just pulverize the past set dogmatic belief systems that were keeping us away from our own personal power and ability to create and perpetuate our own divine paths and destinies, which is what we are moving in and transitioning to as we get into the age of Aquarius. That is how the new world will be built and sustained, is through the individual capabilities and talents and gifts of each human being cultivated and brought out in order to serve and create, give and receive on the part of each individual and its place in the whole of humanity. Aquarius, that is the archetype, the dynamic of Aquarius. That is a lot what the Aquarian age is going to look like. And that's why right now we're all going through this process where we are looking inward, seeing what our true passions and strengths and talents are, and cultivating those things and working on them, and then figuring out how we can use them to benefit and to serve and make a living off of those things. And that is eventually more and more, as people do this more and more, what will grow, cultivate, develop, build. Second Renaissance, as my beautiful, lovely, amazing teacher has so eloquently named it. All right. What else do I have to say today? I have more to say about Mercury. I had like 4 pages of notes on this, so I'm going through it as fast as I can for today. There's just a lot to say. Next, I also find it interesting today, the degree of Mercury itself in the context of what's going on with Mercury and Mars. And this is because Mercury is at 3 Aries, and that degree is a cameo, shows the profile of a man that suggests the outline of his country. So to me, this says, look for patriots in the news with explosive information or heated revelations or communications of some kind. I'm saying for today, this is likely to be specifically politically oriented because of the nature of the energetic and effect. So watch for this today. And also all month, we have the energy of the heated communications, like I said, and verbal conflict, and also things happening just very, very quickly. Information coming out fast, ideas changing quickly, very, very rapidly. And also any Geminis out there, like I said, you guys should have a lot more mental energy this month generally. And you're also the ones, and I'm included in that. I have a Gemini ascendant. We need to watch our words and just make sure that we're not overreacting to things, that we're not speaking before we think, that we're not being too cutting with our words without realizing it. Because it's just, we have Mars in our sign right now, and now Mercury's moved into Aries. So just something, Geminis out there, keep in mind. The last thing I want to say today, I want to talk, and this is another, I find this significant. I'll talk, Jupiter is a big kind of deal right now, and I'll talk more about that tomorrow. This video is getting too long. I couldn't get into it today. But the last thing that I want to talk about is that we have Jupiter moving degrees from 24 to 25 Aquarius. Jupiter was at 24 degrees Aquarius, which is the Sabian symbol of a man having overcome his passions, teaches deep wisdom from his experience. And so that's really what we were working with. No, Shiloh. You need to sit down right there. I see. Sit down right there, sweetheart, and wait for me, and I'll be done in a minute. Just sit down and wait, and I will take care of it in just a minute, okay? Okay. So, that was the degree we were working with, really trying to look past our ego urges and stuff into the nature of our soul, the experiences of our life, what we could glean from it in order to take those seeds of wisdom and to use them to be examples for ourselves and to teach the people around us and to learn from what we had experienced and learned in the past. But now we have Jupiter moving to 25 degrees of Aquarius. And this Sabian symbol is a butterfly with the right wing more perfectly formed. And this degree can sort of create grand distortions in things. And with Jupiter here, they would be like grand distortions in things, like overblown big distortions in things. Because the degree talks about the right wing more perfectly formed, so they're not exactly in balance, but it indicates also a strengthened and more empowered right brain, and also represents the ability to metamorphosize, the butterfly. So with this degree, I think it will bring an expansion, Jupiter, of right brain activities, the right wing, right brain activities generally within the population. And this means a greater connection to intuition and creative potential. And although the degree describes it as being out of balance, out of proportion with the left, we've been experiencing a great deal of distortion for a very long period of time. And with things have been weighted so far in favor of the left for the left brain for a long period of time, like logic, reason, structure, very right brain, because the right controls the left and the left controls the right. So I really see this as a rebalancing at this time, through a distorted expansion of the right brain faculties. There's been such a distortion of the left brain faculties, and now we have this degree coming in at this time with Jupiter causing a distortion of the right brain faculties. So to me, that's actually kind of like a rebalancing effect that it would have on this whole situation in the context of what's going on. This does also mean, however, there's a greater chance of grand distortions to be perpetuated generally all month. And in sextile to the Gemini planets, this could be in regards to media communications and like distorted messaging meant to pull things and people out of balance. So it's good that we have, in my opinion, that we'll have this expansion of the right brain and the intuitive faculty and the creative, more source connected energy to help us sort of sort things out from within this month. So I would say, over the next few days, the next week, while Jupiter's at this degree, to really, try to cultivate your intuition, your creativity, and your connection to source, like I've been saying. But we have an expanded ability to do that with Jupiter at this placement, and that is going to help us sort out the confusion and the distortion in the external reality. So that's how I'm seeing that. Lastly, and I think this is interesting too, if we were to take this degree literally, it's literally referring to the right wing. So it could be in reference to the political right and left in this country currently. And again, it's in sextile to the Gemini planets, Mars in the North Node. And considering it's Jupiter, I'm saying we could see some major victories or validation or success for the political right wing in this country as Jupiter transits this degree, and also an expansion, Jupiter, of people generally accepting and adopting and strengthening more right wing ideologies and understandings. I mean, literally, it's the right wing of the butterfly that's described in this, and it says it's more perfectly formed. So I feel like with this degree in effect, it's possible that we could see the political right be validated or be shown to be to win somehow, or to have a success somehow while Jupiter's at this degree, and while we have all the information coming out with Mars and Mercury in mutual reception. So just some food for thought, things to look for today. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I know that was a lot of information. I tried to get it all out as concisely as I could. And I hope that it helps you somewhat in your day somehow. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share it with your friends if you think it's cool. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Tuesday's astrological outlook. Have a beautiful day, guys. Love you. Bye.